SP2 is Sunlu's new filament dryer, and look, I get it, filament drying is boring. But stick with me for a few minutes because whilst the new Sunlu SP2 isn't the ultimate filament dryer that will solve all of your problems, it may be the most cost-effective setup for drying and maintaining your filament that you have available right now. Also, whilst not quite hitting the nail squarely on the head with the base product, I think Sunlu may have accidentally given me the seed of an idea that could solve all of my filament drying and storage problems. This video is sponsored by PCBWay. So let's quickly get all of the obligatory stuff out of the way. Yes, Sunlu sent these to me, and no, I didn't pay for them. Does that mean that I'll only say nice stuff about them? No, because frankly, my channel would be nothing without viewers, and I care much more about giving you good information so that you'll come back next time than I do about keeping manufacturers happy. However, I do still need to keep the lights on, so if you do decide to buy something after watching one of my videos, clicking the links in the descriptions can really help with zero cost to you. These links should also take you to the best price available, so it's win-win. Anyway, the SP2 is Sunlu's latest filament dryer. Where this one is different to other Sunlu models, or indeed most other manufacturers' models, is that the SP2 is both a filament dryer and a filament storage box. That's right, when you're done with drying filament, you just lift it off the base and whack a couple of blanking panels in the bottom, and your filament is now sealed in an airtight container that stops or at least drastically reduces the possibility of moisture getting to your filament. The SP2 can reach up to 70 degrees C, which is enough to dry more than just PLA and PETG. This means that it can dry PLA, PETG and TPU, but now also PVA, PVB, ASA, ABS and potentially PA and PC. Now, I haven't had this one very long, so I can't give you detailed performance comparisons yet, but I can say that, from my initial tests, that the temperature displayed on the base seems to be within a degree or two of what's happening in the middle of the box, and the maximum temperature is achieved and maintained inside the chamber. Now, the SP2's modular design is not entirely new, and you could say that their design borrows heavily from Polymaker's Polydryer. The difference with the SP2 is that it's designed to take more than one single 1 kilogram spool of filament. The SP2, being that much bigger, can hold either two 1 kilogram spools or a single 2 or even 3 kilogram spool, apparently. I don't have any 2 or 3 kilogram spools, so I'm quoting Sunlu's own information on that. The display on the base is very similar to Sunlu's S4 dryer, which I liked, but there are a couple of differences. There are still the numerous filament profiles that you can quickly switch between rather than having to remember temperature settings for each filament. You can easily edit these if you wish, along with drying times. Another change I like is that you can now set the drying time anywhere from 1 to 99 hours, so you no longer have to reset the timer every 24 hours if you want to dry for longer. Unfortunately, one thing that's lacking on this more affordable model is the automatic humidity maintaining feature, where the dryer can monitor your chamber's humidity level and switch itself on and off accordingly to maintain a low reading. This is because the base unit itself doesn't have a hygrometer or humidity sensor. Instead, the idea is that you use the separate unit located inside each chamber, which then stays with your filament even after you finish drying and you've sealed it up. There's also a container surrounding the hygrometer that you can fill with desiccant to help with keeping any moisture away from your filament. The idea being here that you can save money on multiple filament dryers and just have multiple dry box style chambers instead. These chambers are stackable, which makes storage easier, but actually I think that both Sunlu and Polymaker for that matter have missed a trick here. You see, whilst the chambers on the SP2 are stackable, this is purely a storage convenience. The chambers aren't connected in any way when stacked, but what if they were? If you had a few SP2 containers stacked on top of each other and all of the chambers connected, you could have one base on the bottom heating the air in your massive drying column at a much lower cost than buying multiple dryers. I know that for many people this would be overkill, but if you need to maintain large quantities of filament, then this could be a nice solution with a very small footprint. There could potentially be some circulation issues to solve, as the heat and moisture would obviously rise to the top, but it's something I think I'll likely have a play with. After all, it's only really going to take a replacement 3D printed lid with holes in it for the next chamber to sit on, and then some testing to see what happens to the temperature. So drop me a comment if that's something you'd like to see, and subscribe so you don't miss any updates. Now, if you're supplying products to customers and want a local presence without the overheads, then our video sponsor PCBWay may have the solution for you. PCBWay partners with distributors to manage your entire supply chain, from inventory and manufacturing to technical support and global shipping. With services like PCB prototyping, assembly, CNC machining, 3D printing, and injection molding, they cover every stage of the product lifecycle. Their team tailors technology and business solutions for each partner, ensuring seamless order fulfillment and consistent product control across markets. Check out PCBWay.com to see what they can do for you. So back to the SP2 as it's supplied by Sunlu. As with any self-respecting filament storage or drying solution, the SP2 lets you print with the filament it's looking after while it's looking after it. There are 6 filament outlets that can be sealed, and there are 2 options when it comes to allowing the filament to rotate so that it can be pulled out. There are bearings and shafts supplied that you can sit the filament spools on, and there's also the option of a simple plastic center shaft that means that you're not only restricted to using certain types of filament spools. Every type of spool I tried works, and the 2 options give the SP2 a lot of flexibility. There's also quite a bit of extra room in the SP2's chamber, which could give you room to add either more desiccant or perhaps any kind of modification to dry something other than filament. At the end of the day, these filament dryers are just low temperature ovens and would be just as capable of drying things like herbs or your soggy socks for that matter. The only restriction you'll find with the SP2 is that it doesn't have much in the way of vents for any damp air. All you have is the filament outlets, which I'm not convinced are big enough. I think I would have preferred to see at least a manual vent in the lid so that any moisture that's drawn out of whatever you're drying can escape. There's obviously the desiccant which can soak up moisture, but I'd rather see it expelled instead. Also, the SP2 doesn't rotate your filament like the iBoss Polyphemus or the new AMS models from Bamboo Lab. When the filament sits still while drying, there will be hotter and cooler areas, so you'll want to rotate it manually every few hours if you're not printing at the same time as drying. The other thing that's different to some other similar dryers is that the SP2 circulates and heats the same air rather than drawing in fresh air and venting it after heating. There are pros and cons to this approach, and the main benefit that I can see is that it's quicker to heat up the air inside the chamber if it's not being replaced. Also, you're not drawing in potentially damp air all of the time, but on the flip side, you're not actively expelling the moisture very much either. The SP2 uses a 200 watt PTC heater, which also helps with the heat up times, but I did notice that there is one particular spot above the heater exit that seems to get all of the heat. This will balance out a bit as everything warms up, but again, hot spots on part of a filament roll aren't ideal, especially if you're close to that filament's melting point. So what about pricing? There's a lot of competition out there in the world of filament dryers, so the SP2 has got to be competitively priced if it's going to be a viable option. The SP2 can be pre-ordered from May the 19th for 1 month until June the 19th, 2025, during which time the price will be $99 or €99. If you're quick and are one of the first 100 to place an order, there's a further $10 or €10 discount. If you want to buy an additional chamber, then Sunlu have a package that includes a chamber and 2 rolls of PLA Plus for a further $75 or euros. Again, if you're one of the first 100 orders, then there's a further discount, this time of 15 monies. After the pre-sale period ends, then prices will go up to 110 for the SP2 and 80 for the additional chamber and filament. At the moment, there are no plans to sell just the chamber on its own, which I assume is all down to shipping costs, and is a bit of a shame. If you're buying the filament anyway, then it's probably a cost-effective option, but if all you want is the chamber and not the filament, then I'm not sure it makes a lot of sense to buy another chamber when other 2-spool filament dryers are not really that much more expensive. Maybe I'm just missing the point, but I'd like to see a cheaper option for the chambers. What you do have with the SP2 though is a dryer base that is self-contained. What's to stop you modifying another locally sourced container to sit on top? Anyway, I'm starting to ramble. Let's quickly recap with some pros and cons. The SP2 is a competitively priced 2-spool filament dryer, especially in the pre-sale period. If you could buy the interchangeable chambers on their own for $20 to $30, then I think it would be a great solution. On the positive side, you get a sealed filament container and a dryer all in one. They're stackable for space saving, and they'd be quite easy to modify for alternative uses. The 70-degree maximum temperature is not only high enough to dry more filaments, but it can also dry out your desiccant too. There's lots of room for more desiccant and bigger spools if you need it, and I like that you can dry for basically as long as you want to and are not limited to 24 hours like you are with other dryers. On the negative side, the SP2 doesn't rotate the spools. The standard desiccant holder is quite small and there's no way to rewind your filament when you finish printing with it. You don't get the humidity maintaining function from the S4, and I'm a little bit skeptical that the filament outlet holes are enough to adequately vent all of the moisture that you remove from the filament. Hotspots on your filament is a very real possibility, especially at the beginning of a drying cycle. And at least on the pre-production prototype I was sent, the seals on the bottom blanking panels have a tendency to come out of their grooves. All in all, I think the SP2 has some good ideas and could be a good starting point for modifications to suit your particular needs. And it is competitively priced, certainly if you place a pre-order. I think if you could buy the additional chambers for the same price as other dry box options, then it would be a no-brainer to use the SP2 system for all of your filament storage. As it is though, I'm just not sure the sums add up, for me anyway. Remember, if you do want to take advantage of the pre-sale discounts, or you just want the best price whenever you're watching this, check out the links in the description below. If you want to know about other filament drying options, then check out one of these videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.